It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know, by the name of Annabel Lee. Who is Annabel Lee?
Hopefully, yes.
Day one, beloved.
I like how that rhymed, though.
Hmm. I used to be massively into poems when I was younger.
I will be professor.
Be professor.
And class dismissed. By our next meeting, I need a full report on everyone's poem that they have chosen. I will not accept one paragraph. I need 2 whole pages filled with words. Everyone got that?
The classroom broke. The classroom broke into a series of "Yes, Professor," while some spared no time in packing their things, eager to be dismissed and disregarding the teacher altogether. Your literature teacher packs up her own things and exits the classroom. The moment your literature teacher left, the classroom broke into small groups as each student gathered up to meet with their respective cliques. Some engaged in conversation while some spared no time in exiting the classroom. A yawn escaped your lips. You turned your head and observed the clouds outside. The clouds are shaded in dark gray. The sky's once blue colors is now turning the same lighter shade of gray. The looming threat of rain made you click your tongue in irritation. Just my luck. I didn't bother to bring an umbrella, too. Standing up from your seat, you were about to grab your bag when you felt a tap on your shoulder. Turning around, you came face to face with cobalt blue eyes, her blonde hair shaped like swirls with the ends dyed in blue and pink, complementing her entire ensemble, even if it's just a white buttoned up that clearly looks too small on her. It is a little tight.
Yeah.
Hot pink jacket tied around her waist and the school's black skirt. Her hand, which you assumed was the same one that tapped your shoulder, hung up in the air. She seemed unsure whether to continue or not, judging from the way her eyebrows furrowed downward while biting her gloss lower lip. She turned slightly, her head not fixed on you, but rather on whoever is behind her. You hear her whisper something under her breath before eventually composing herself and turning her focus solely on you now.
Before I do her voice, I just
Mm-hmm.
want to mention I really like the description, like where it's like biting over her glossed up lips.
Yeah, the
But
writing is really nice. I like it.
the writing's really nice. Does not match the description though for the eyes, because that's purple.
I feel like an old
That ain't
person. I'm
blue.
like leaning into my screen, like, it looks purple.
Hey, you're going to lunch with us, right? I mean, you should. I don't usually see you in the cafeteria often, so you must not be eating properly. How can you keep up with classes looking like that?
Oh, she's judging us so hard. Excuse me? You took a step back, clenching the strap of your bag as you glare at the blonde woman before you. Who was this woman? Who does she think she is? Judging from the woman's expression, she finally came to realize the words that came out of her mouth.
Uh, I.
Brittany! A familiar voice interrupted the two of you. You turned your head to where the voice was, and there stood none other than your old friend. Ooh la la. That's really insensitive of you. Imagine if someone else told you about how you look. His familiar orbs are of azure blue, nearly replicating lapis lazuli's, and his chocolate brown hair tied loosely in a low braid. Sun-kissed skin enhanced his handsome features, adorned with a black long-sleeved button-up and an indigo vest to add to his clean look.
I really like his look.
Mm-hmm. He's good. He looks really cute. He is known as Jericho Ichabod?
Jericho.
Jericho. I'm not going to get that right. Crow. Okay. I don't know how you get Crow from that, but fair enough.
I don't know.
Crow for short, the class representative and a close friend of yours. Well, the only close friend you have. Crow made his way to your side with a hand on his hip. He reprimands the blonde-haired woman next to you, and the said woman just shrugged her shoulders.
I love his pouty lips going like, ooh.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's disapproving. See? He's not happy with you. You placed a hand over your beating heart. The close proximity between you two caused a blush to appear on your cheeks. Ooh. No matter how many times you get close to him, or him getting near you, you'll never get used to it. His whole aura just gives a warm feeling in you, the butterflies in your stomach thrashing and raging, begging to be released. Oh, we
What's
really.
begging to be released?
Huh?
What's begging to be released?
Oh. It's one of those, isn't it? Yeah, you may have a bit of a crush on him. Yeah, you don't say. The woman named Brittany just rolled her eyes, seemingly used to Crow's reprimands.
Well, you're the one who insisted on me initiating talk.
You could have done it more nicely, you know? Like a simple invite alone. Crow gives you a small smile while handing out something to you. You looked down to see it. It was your ID. You dropped this, by the way. Your name is...
Boofus?
Boofus? Boofington. Because we're fancy.
Because we're fancy.
The ID shows my name, Boofus Boofington, along with my pronouns. And we are a Hershey, like the chocolate.
The cutest of Hershey's.
You stare at your own ID picture and see yourself more. I'd say we're feminine.
We are very femme.
Femme fatale. You use your feminine terms and you will be called a girl woman. You looked at your ID picture, seeing a young woman and reading your name with your eyes. Boofus Boofington. Sorry, just seeing it. Boofus Boofington. Pronouns she, her. Yeah, that seems right. My eyes aren't itchy. Your fingers briefly brushed against his. You bit your lip, then muttered a small thank you before pocketing your school ID. Crow gives you a closed-eyed smile, returning with his own thank you, then turns his attention back to Brittany. Following up behind Brittany are 3 more people. Ooh. The tallest of the 3 is a sporty-looking man clad in green and yellow jersey with the number 10 settled in front. His eyes are a bright green, the color that kind of reminds you of green apples, his skin a beautiful brown that nearly matches his curly hair, while a stubble is nestled on his chin, indicating his maturity. Ooh. The second tallest is a man in a purple hoodie. His eyes are sharp and slanted with long lashes, adorned with teal-colored orbs underneath. I like that there's definitely no same face syndrome going on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
the art, like you can tell it's the same art, but it's like very defined. Like I really like that.
I usually don't like the sporty guys, but I really like the design of him. I really like his curly hair, and I like the purple dude, even though he reminds me of someone I dislike.
Yeah, I really like them. I don't know who we can romance in this game, though. That's the only thing. So, who knows? Who knows if we can even go for these people? His hair straight and styled in a hime cut, save for a short strand tied with a red ribbon and a low ponytail bound with the same shade of red behind him. He looks uninterested with what is going around at the very moment. And at the last but not the least is the shortest of the 3, maybe within the group as well. Her skin pale, her face dotted with a few freckles, then and there, as rectangular-shaped frames shield away orange orbs. Her hair is short and loose like waves. She wears a black button-up under an orange vest and a black skirt matching Brittany's.
Damn, Britt, you sure are bad at socializing. Hey, Gio, seems like you have competition.
Do you think Gio's the purple-haired guy?
Yes. I'm assuming, because Gio... You know what? Yes, I'm just going to leave it like that.
The tall jock clad in yellow and green jersey... and green sports jersey. I don't know where I got jacket from. Lets out a loud laugh, causing some students to turn and look at him. Brittany's face grew red from embarrassment. Gritting her teeth, she crossed her arms while tapping her foot on the ground. This only made the jock laugh even harder.
Shut the front door, Daryl. You're causing a scene. Also, if you were me, you would have done just as badly. That is not, in fact, not true.
Wait.
Yeah.
See, reading is hard.
Yeah, reading is hard, even short sentences. I'm a lovable guy. Oh, yeah?
As the two argue, you turn your head towards the other tall male in a hoodie. Sensing your gaze, he looks down at you, his hand still in his hoodie's pocket. A sudden chill went down your spine.
I love the 2 breaths you gave.
Whenever there's Dasa, I know it's technically silence, but I just never know what to do with it. You quickly averted your gaze away from the imposing male and landing on the meek girl in orange right beside Brittany. She hasn't spoken since she arrived with the 2 males, but judging from how attached she is to Brittany, you're guessing she's closer with her than the rest of the group. She kind of reminds you of yourself when you were still new to the school with no one to talk to. Not until Crow befriended you, of course. Were you as clingy to Crow back then as she is with Brittany now? Sorry, they're kind of a rowdy bunch, huh? I hope you're not too overwhelmed. They sure are... Oh, what? I went too fast. Oh,
yeah.
They sure are something. Look, Boofus, you're still free not to join us for lunch if you're uncomfortable. Meeting new people is overwhelming. I just want to let you know that I respect your feelings and that you matter, Boofus. Crow reassures you with a worried smile on his lips. You turn back to the group, the tall jock named Daryl now bothering Gio with an arm around his shoulder. The visible irritation on Gio's face did nothing to sway Daryl's happy-go-lucky personality. Brittany leans on one of the desks with her arms crossed, striking a conversation with the bespectacled girl next to her. What's her name? I didn't seem to catch it last time. Crow glanced at where you were pointing at. Jessie? You could just call her Jess for short. She's best friends with Brittany. She kind of reminds me of you back when we first met. All shy and quiet. Only that you're cute. Ooh, we're cute.
I told you we're cute. They're cute.
Yeah. I want to know if we can go for him. I like him. Crow pinches your cheek playfully, and you groan, but your mock annoyance is betrayed by the small smile that formed on your lips. How time flies, huh? That's right, you got yourself acquainted with Crow in your sophomore year. Before you left for the city, your father emphasized the importance of having companions and establishing friendships, most especially in this college. Olympias University, the largest university in Titan City. It is known for having the best facilities and the best education, where you're guaranteed to rise from the bottom to the top. Well, that's what the advertisement tells you. You tried getting to know people during your first year, but to no avail. No matter how much you tried to make friends, you just couldn't seem to bring yourself to talk to anyone, and to your dismay, no one seems to bother to even befriend you. Sure, you would talk with a few classmates for projects, but nothing goes beyond that. As if they're scared of you. Or more like disgusted? You can never tell. The looks you receive have all been mixed signals, some bad, some out of pity. Oh no. That's not nice.
What are we doing?
Yeah. That is until Crow came into the picture. Among everyone, Crow was the sole person who approached you with the intention of friendship. You were wary of him at first. Why would someone want to befriend you out of nowhere? Oh my god, no, don't be that negative. I just want to... Oh, it's really sad. Your past experiences caused you suspicion. You've had a history with people who tried to earn your good graces because you were somehow beneficial to them. You thought Crow would be the same case, so you ignored him. But then he kept following you, trying to strike a conversation with you every now and then. You tried to dismiss him, ignoring his presence as usual, but Crow was determined to break down your walls and kept insisting on tagging along until it annoyed you once. Just once.
Just once.
That is, until it happened on the last day of your first semester in your sophomore year. You fell victim to one of the school's biggest hidden flaws. If Crow wasn't there to stop them, you could not begin to imagine what might have happened to you.
What happened to us?
Oh, okay. Wait, is this Crow? He looks disheveled. This is nice. Oh, and his hair's not braided. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda like it free like that.
I like it free like that too.
Thank goodness you're unharmed. You're concerned about me? How about you? You're the one who's hurt. Thinking back, you thought he was crazy and stupid. Taking blow after blow. Oh my god, what is going on in this school?
Why were they trying to beat her up? What the heck happened?
I know what is happening. Until the perpetrators got bored and left the both of you. Ugh. Well, that's the whole point, right? As long as you're not hurt, this is nothing. You're crazy, you know that. And he just laughs it off, wincing due to the bruises on his face. I never got your name, crazy person. It's Jericho. Jericho Ichabod. Did I get that right that time?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
I don't know about Ichabod though. I think it's Ichabod.
You just
Like Ichabod Crane.
you just had to take it away from me, didn't you? But just call me Crow. Thank you. I do prefer that. Nice to meet you, Crow. I'm Boofus. You brought him to the clinic that day and became inseparable ever since. Right after the incident, Crow promised to never get in fights again and continues to keep his word on it. You really owe it to him. You look back up at Crow. You look back up at Crow. He tilts his head. Something on your mind, Boofus? Nothing, just happy that you're my friend.
Aww.
Ah, he's smiling. He looked at you with raised eyebrows, probably surprised at how random your thoughts seem. He didn't say anything as he let your words sink in, and his usual gentle smile appeared on his face. Crow inched closer to you, indicating that he feels the same way. Brittany must have taken notice of the amount of time wasted in talking and arguing as she turns to you one last time.
We've talked a little bit too much. We'll end up not getting any seats if we keep this up. So, are you coming with us or not?
Caught up in your little daydream about the past, Brittany finally spoke up, catching your attention. You looked back at Crow, recalling his words. Don't force yourself to join if you're still uncomfortable. You then decide to. I feel pretty much indifferent because, as much as I like Crow, I have zero attachments so far, and I also do not know what any of these will lead us to, so I don't know. Do you want to go with them? Should we. I mean, this is just really vague as well. I don't know,
I'm a
man.
kind soul, and so far everyone's been sort of nice. I don't think Brittany meant to be mean to us. I don't know. I think she just was awkward and it came off rude because I don't know if you remember when all the words got out. It's like she realized what she said and she was like, "Oh, like she was stuttering to go back." So I don't think she meant to be rude to us. So I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, and everybody else seems pretty nice.
So, do you want to go hang with them then?
Yes. Get to know these individuals.
Brittany hummed a sound of content before turning her heel and heading towards the classroom's exit, her three other friends following behind her. Crow looks back at you by the door, waiting for you. Catching up, you raise your head to meet his azure orbs once more. Your heartbeat quickens with within your ribcage in response.
You two, stop ogling at each other and hurry up.
I want to ogle as much as I want.
Yeah, Brittany.
Brittany's exclamation made the both of you jump. You merely looked down, using your hair as a curtain to hide your reddened face. Crow just rubbed the back of his neck. You two eventually followed behind Brittany and the rest of the group towards the cafeteria.
So I'm assuming the feeling's kind of mutual. Our feelings.
I get that vibe too. He was very much like, oh, I just want you to know you matter and stuff. Which, yeah, a friend could say that too, but I don't know. I'm catching vibes here. The cafeteria is loud and crowded. Tables are filled with students while the rest are lined up by the counter grabbing their lunches. A groan escaped Brittany's lips as she looks around for any sign of a vacant table you could all share.
What a frickin' great time to not bring lunch, huh? Next time, I'm preparing my lunch the night before.
Oh, right. We've not given her a voice yet. Should I do her? Do you want to do her? Wait, I'm doing
yeah.
Crow and my MC. Do you want to do Jess then? And I don't know if another person's showing up though. That's the only thing.
Geo. So Geo will be you, and then I'll do Jess.
Okay.
I wonder why it's so crowded today. New lunch menu, perhaps?
It seems like it.
We'll be left with nothing else if we keep standing around here and loiter.
Oh no, there's so many people. We're
So many people
outnumbered.
trying to remember voices. Hey, Geo, Daryl. Oh, yeah. What is it, your Royal Majesty?
Daryl cooed with a teasing tone. Brittany rolled her eyes at a silly gesture.
Could you two look for a vacant spot while the rest of us line up? Saves us time that way. Learn how to read, learn how to do voices.
That's too much.
Yeah, sure, Britt. Let's go, Geo.
Wrapping an arm around Gio's shoulder while ignoring his obvious irritation from the said male, the two walked away in hopes of looking for an unoccupied table. Brittany then turns to you.
Oh, right. Boofus, I'm not sure if you have packed anything like those two did, but if you want to line up with us or go help them find a table, make a choice.
Is this a choice? You decided that you... It is a choice.
It's choice.
Did we bring our own or did we not?
I don't know how you feel. I'm keen to stay with Crow. I'm not too interested in the other two, but I don't know them yet. But I'm keen to stay with Crow.
See, I just want to know who we can date, but I don't know who we
Yeah.
can date. So, buy lunch I guess would be Crow then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Buy lunch. I'll buy.
All right then. Daryl, Gio, go find us some seats while we line up.
Daryl waved Brittany away, mouthing, "I got it," before turning around with Gio, the jock's arm wrapped around his grumpy friend's shoulder, dismissing the visible annoyance on Gio. Is he just, like, permanently annoying Gio? It's their dynamic. Relatable.
Come on, Jess, let's get in line. Yes, of course. You may go first, Brett.
Wow, have you ever noticed the size difference?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Well, they said she's the shortest one, so.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
She is bending those knees, though, so.
Ah, that's true, yeah. She's probably not standing straight. With haste, Jess trails behind Brittany. Let's get in line as well before more people start piling up. We don't want to end up with the bad stuff, don't we, Boofus? Ooh, okay. You can say that again. You shuddered at the thought, remembering the leftovers from the school cafeteria. With a nod, you and Crow made it in line with the rest of the student body. While you were lining up, Crow turns his attention back to you. I'm glad you decided to come with us, Boofus. I know it may seem selfish of me to drag you along, but there are new friends now. I hope you don't mind.
Why would you mind?
I don't know why we would mind. But, I mean, I guess this would be the rude one, but it's also kind of weird to be quiet. But I guess this is nicer? I don't know.
Really? I feel like it'd be more ruder to say nothing.
I feel like I don't know, because he's like, I hope you don't mind, we have friends. And I'm just like, I don't know. They're a little weird.
I would say I don't know. It's kind of like
I'm
unsure, but I'm doing it for you. I don't know. I think it's all right for her to be unsure. Like, she's giving them a chance because she doesn't know them at all.
Right, should we do it?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just judging them too fast.
You are right. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's all right, Boofus. Their first impressions weren't really the best either. See, actually, that's kind of true. A little bit. Like, although Daryl was kind of... Oh, wait. I'm just like... You and me, Crow, one mind. Well, save for Daryl. He seems to be the only one who is more excited to meet you. I can tell. Crow lets out a soft chuckle. I'm just happy that you're giving... That's technically the wrong voice. I'm just happy you're giving them a chance, Boofus. Your conversation with Crow ended there, and your focus returned to the line. You thought for a bit. How are you going to fit in with your group? You're still unsure of everyone's personalities, not to mention intentions, and why Crow just bothered to introduce you to them just now. You'll think hard about it later. For now, you hand out your own tray for the cafeteria staff to place your food on. You weren't really that hungry, and you just brought a... Oh, it's probably a typo. I was gonna be like, sandwich.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
I've got a sandwich. No, it's
That's
fine.
a sandwich.
You weren't really that hungry and just bought a sandwich with a box of juice. Just the usual, you thought. Whenever you find the time to spend your lunch break here. By the end of the other side of the line, Brittany and Jess were already waiting for you and Crow, tray filled with food in their hands. Once everyone got their food, Brittany turned her heel and walked towards where Daryl and Jill were seated. My reading is so bad right now.
Move your tush aside, Daryl.
I like how you're trying to be.
I was trying. Oh. Who did that?
I don't know. A loud gasp escaped Brittany's lips, her mouth open wide in shock. The food on her tray is now splattered across her white uniform.
Brittany.
Oh, should I be the bully?
Okay.
Oops, sorry about that. You should have watched where you're going there.
Ooh.
Oh, the faceless bunch. Multiple footsteps came near. A trio of girls shows themselves before you. The tallest of the bunch, the red-haired one, placed a hand over where her heart is and lets out a mocking gasp. You don't even matter! You don't even have faces! Brittany's eyes met with the red-haired bully. Judging from the way Brittany's face twisted with rage, they seemed to know each other.
Britt, are you alright? We should get yourself changed.
You.
Frickin'. I don't even know what word
Butthead!
to. Butthead, yeah. I didn't know what PC word to say. This is my only clean uniform. How frickin' dare you?
Oh, look at Miss Claire all flared up. Careful there, sweetie. You'll get wrinkles. It's not like you're not ugly already.
Whoa.
Girl coos at Brittany, her two friends behind her laughing along with her antics. I've got a bad feeling about this. The entire cafeteria breaks in a few murmurs and whispers, their attention now fixated on the group of girls. Some stopped eating while some took out their phones, ready to film whatever happens next. Crow tried to come in between them to stop the fight, but he wasn't fast enough. Splat! Next thing we knew, another loud gasp was heard.
Heck yeah.
A wide smile etched itself on Brittany's face. The mean girl's white uniform now smeared with varieties of wet sauces and oils, matching Brittany's own dirtied uniform. Jess's face is filled with shock. The food from her tray is now gone.
Take that, something stain.
You. Horrible butthead. This is so unnatural for me.
Food fight!
The moment Daryl howled those words, the cafeteria went into a hectic frenzy. Food and drinks started flying across the area as each student started tossing whatever they get their hands on. Are those trays? Oh. Boofus! Everyone stop this madness at once! A sudden wave of pain made its way to your head. We just got whacked upside the head.
Ooh.
And the last thing you saw was Crow calling out your name before passing out. Ooh, do we get the infamous, like, nurse room scene?
Ooh.
Ugh. Where am I? Oh, you're awake, thank goodness. I'm psychic, girl. I know all the cliches. I am here for them. Crow? You tried to sit up, but a sudden shot of pain went through your head. You tried to sit up, but a sudden shot of pain went through your head and stopped you. You reached out to touch where the ache was coming from, but Crow stopped you by holding onto your wrist. Careful now, the nurse already bandaged your head, but don't push yourself. Crow gently pushed you back down on the medical bed. He takes a lone stool and takes a seat right next to you. Oh, what happened? Well, after Daryl started that mess of a food fight, the principal was called in to stop it. Daryl got lucky enough to escape when he did. Gio was nowhere to be seen. As for Brittany, well, what about her? Well, Jess helped her out to grab a new uniform from the principal's office. Then why does my head hurt so much? Someone somehow threw a tray, and you were unfortunate enough to get hit by it. Thankfully, I got you out of here before things got ugly. I mean, I feel like they kind of did get ugly already. Thanks, Crow. I owe you one. I'm always there for you, Boofus. Never forget that.
Ooh.
Anyway, it's around 1:45 in the afternoon right now. I should probably head out to my next class. You should stay here until the nurse gets back. You'll be alright alone here, right? I mean, you could stay.
Yeah.
You wanted to say no, but stopped yourself before you could. Yes, you can go ahead. You sure? Yes, I'll be fine, Crow. You've done enough for me today. You gave him a small smile, but he did not return it. Crow squeezes your hand, quite hesitant to let you go. Oh gosh, he has to be romanceable, right? Otherwise, this is such a tease. Like, Eventually, he loosened his grip. He stands up from his chair and walks towards the exit. But before he could leave, he turned around and gave you one last smile, eventually closing the door and going out of the infirmary. Hold up, I just realized he's not the guy from the opening scene, right?
He's not. I don't think so.
Okay, so we've not met potentially the person that the game's named after. Okay.
Yes.
Unless it's the purple-haired guy. You groaned and laid back down on the bed, feeling the bandage on your head. At least the pain is slowly dying a bit. Hope it didn't leave a mark on my head. You're guessing you came face to face with the edges of one of the metallic... Oh, it was one of the metallic... I mean, technically, I think the plastic one would hurt too, but this sounds worse to me.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I know it would hurt, but I don't think it would, like, knock you out. But if it's the metallic ones, okay.
Since when did trays hurt that much? Then again, there were athletes in the area, Daryl being one of them. Just then, you heard the door opening, the nurse's voice echoing through the room as the clicking of her heels got louder and she drew closer. Ooh, who are you? Oh,
Ooh.
it's an owie. The school nurse entered, and following her was a tall student dressed in black. He seems to be holding onto his left hand. You can see the red streaks of blood overflowing. That looks bad. He sure had it worse than me. I wonder what happened. I don't know, a concussion's quite serious. Like, if she were to have one, like, that's quite bad as well.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened. Do you... Okay, hold on. I'm assuming we're going to speak to the guy, and
Yeah.
there's going to be a nurse, so what voices do you want to do?
I can do the guy, because I assume the nurse isn't going to stay long.
Okay. You should be thankful you didn't cut a vein. How were they able to get past... How were they able to get past with that pocket knife in the first place? The nurse sighed. It seemed like she got her hands full with another student. The latter, however, didn't say anything as he let out a small hiss when the nurse dabbed some disinfectant on his wound. You sat up slowly, careful to not hit your head on anything else before stealing a glance at the student and the nurse. What do you think of his design? He looks cute to me as well.
I like his design. I'm always into the punks.
Oh, me too. Ooh, the nail polish as well. Like, that goes right up my alley. The key! Wait! What? Girl!
Oh,
did you
look,
see
you
that?
got the key.
You've got my little mouse on you, my little clicky. Sorry, just noticed that. Your eyes met with reddish-orange ones. Your heart raced as you feel your heartbeat quicken. What an unusual color. They remind me of the setting sun. The nurse finishes up wrapping around his wound, a blotch of red slowly seeping out and staining the once white bandage. However, his gaze is still fixated on you. The nurse follows his line of sight and finally takes notice of your conscious figure. Ah, you're finally awake, Miss Boofington. She approached you with a bottle of painkiller she took from one of the transparent cabinets on the walls before handing a pill to you. How are you feeling, dear? Does your head still hurt? It's slowly dissipating, ma'am. Thank you. She hands you the pill and you take it down your throat. You're free to stay here for a while longer, Miss Boofington, but you need to return to your class soon as you're feeling better. You give the nurse a nod. She, in return, hums in approval before going back. This is... See, you know what's funny? There's these typos, and I'm already struggling to read anyway. So it's really
But
throwing
you're
me.
like, is it me or is it the typos and you have to reread?
It's both. It's everything. He gave the nurse a nod. She, in return, hums in approval before going back to the taller male in black. As for you, Mr. Brugmansia? God, this game's really...
Yeah.
As for you, Mr. Bergmansia, if ever your bandage gets dirty throughout the day, don't hesitate to come back here and I'll reapply it with a new roll. The taller male hummed. He turns on his heel and made his way towards the exit door before pausing.
I'll return to my class now. Thanks for patching me up, nurse.
I was hoping we could talk to him to see what his deal is, but I guess not.
I was hoping we could talk to him too. You would think he'd stay because he's actually bleeding.
Yeah. But nah, he's just... It's fine, I'll just bleed to death in my class, you know. Pfft. No biggie.
Punk life.
It's like, nah. The tall student gives you one last look with his fiery red eyes before making his exit with a click of the door. No, come back. I want to know your deal. The nurse lets out a sigh, rubbing her temples, feeling a headache surfacing. I swear that child comes here every other day. Him? Oh, you're not classmates with Mr. Brugmansia? Odd, I thought he might know you from the way he was looking at you. No, I haven't seen him around. More like he never bothered to look who was around you since no one would even bother to spare a glance at you. Well, either way, don't get in too much trouble like him, all right? That raises a question in your head. Just how bad were the guy's injuries that he comes to the nurse's office almost every other day? It kind of explains why she's been sighing hard ever since she brought the tall male into her office. With an injury as bad as a near stab wound on the palm, you could only take a wild guess. And as much as you are curious to know what transpired, you're nearly late to your next class. Eyeing the clock on the top of the doorframe, you got out of the medical bed. You thanked the nurse and made your way out of her office. Her office. Ooh, yeah.
All right, before we get to the next scene, we're going to have to call it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. You can watch us on the next part. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.